Hi, here's some survival tips for those of you who have recently come out of a long-term relationship. Now, most people, if they've married or been in a long-term relationship, they generally think or hope it's going to last maybe for life. And so it does throw you when that relationship ends, and it can be pretty worrying and frightening, and especially if you have children, it's a scary business because there's so much uncertainty and fear. So I just find myself when I was at that stage that having a survival plan, which I actually wrote down, was really, really helpful because I was so muddled and could feel so fearful and so overwhelmed at times. It helped me to actually have something written down that I could look at and see, here's useful things for me to do to keep myself from going down the drain altogether. So I've got 10 little tips here. So one is to affirmations are really helpful when you're just submerged in feelings, and mostly they're scary, frightening, negative kind of feelings, and feelings of failure, and not getting anywhere. So it helps to have some affirmations, and to do that in the morning when you start your day. So most people are in the bathroom in the morning, and usually there's a mirror there. And if you look at yourself and look yourself in the eye and say and remind yourself, I am strong. I may be feeling very weak and vulnerable at the moment, but I am strong. And I know and I believe I can get through this. Now, you need to be really positive and affirmative with yourself. And, obviously, if you repeat that to yourself throughout the day, it helps to kind of pull you up out of the pit. It also helps if you move. So, you may not feel like it, and you probably won't feel like it, but once in a while, just put a bit of music, whatever music makes you feel like having a little bop to yourself just in the kitchen. But the movement is good for you. And it kind of gives your brain signals that everything's okay, that you're not in a state of threat, which you often feel. So moving. So these are simple things, and they only take minutes to do these things. Journaling. Journaling, I think, is a lifesaver, particularly if you've got young children and you're at home, and especially in the evenings, you can't be out and about. And I'm remembering, I was in that kind of situation when my youngest child was 4, and it was before the days of the internet and all the technology, all the FaceTime and Zooms and all the ways that we can talk to each other now. Before that was around, it was pretty isolating to not be able to afford childcare, not be able to go out and see friends, and it wasn't always easy for friends who had children as well to come and visit. So, but in these days with technology, like I'm talking to you now, it is so much easier. So, but one of the things I used to do in the evening was to journal. Um, Journal what kind of a day I'd had and how could I make it a bit better tomorrow. But journaling really is uh, amazing. So see some of my other videos about journaling and the benefits of journaling. The other thing is to connect, to stay connected with your support network. And, there's Rebuild Your Life Facebook group that I have. And, we've got about 600 people in that group now. And they're very supportive with each other. So even if you can't get out and about, connect into the group, and you'll find people there who have been where you are, have been down that road, and just make connections. It's really lovely how people who never knew each other and are in different parts of the world all connect and support each other. So the other thing that I think really can be quite motivating and enlivening is to learn something new. Now, you can often feel so exhausted with the whole separation process, and, it's sad, and there's grieving, and there's all that side of things. But actually, once again, the technology offers you opportunities to do lots of short online courses, and you connect with other people while you're doing them. And it's really, really useful. I mean, at the time, I signed up to do a 4 year degree course and professional training. Now, I have to say, I didn't know how I was going to do that, and I just decided I'll do it 1 year at a time, and if I get through the first year, then I'll do the second year, and if I get through that year, I'll do the next year. And it was difficult, but I am so glad that I did it, because it really put me in a position where I could get a well-paid professional uh, career, actually, which I've made of it. So definitely learn something new, and if your brain can cope with learning something new that actually enhances your working life, and makes it easier for you to get a good job or profession, then do that. The other thing is, create a vision board. Or if you don't want to create a vision board, at least in your journal, write down what is your vision. There is a scripture that says, without a progressive vision, the people perish. Well, I actually think some people don't have a vision. They just seem to go round in circles in a kind of wilderness and don't feel like they're getting anywhere. And that kind of aimless feeling is not really, it's not life enhancing. So if you have a vision, what are your wishes and hopes and dreams for the future? And if you're going to have a dream, you might as well have a big one. What would your heart really love to do and be and have in 5 years' time, or 10 years' time, or even just 6 months' time? Just write it in your journal. And a vision board is lovely, because if you collect magazines, or even have a digital one, and download images of all the things that you want to achieve. What kind of home do you want? What kind of lifestyle do you want? All of those things, download them and put them on a board. Something like, there's a big framed picture on my wall over there. I had one and put it on a big frame like that, framed it. And it's amazing how many of the things that you put on there actually finish up turning up in your life. Because if you stick with my videos, you'll see that we do actually create our own reality, and you need to learn how to do that positively. So a vision board is really useful. Message me if you want to learn more about that. Do make a point throughout the day of having some quiet time. Now, whether that's mindfulness practice, or meditation, or it can just be some non-sleep rest, where you just put your head back and just allow yourself to stop thinking. Now, I know it's difficult to stop thinking, but just let your mind rest let your body rest, allow yourself to just be still. And if needs be, just focus on your breathing and slow down, because life can feel very hectic. So it's really good for you to take, even if it's only 5 minutes, and you don't have to try to do anything, just be for 5 minutes. And set achievable intentions. Now that ties in with the vision board, it ties in with the journaling. Even if it's just your intention for today, just for today, and just put after that what it is you intend to do or be, just for today. And the last two on my list are, and in a way they need to be the first two, is to eat well and sleep well. Now, when you're at that time of your life, well, you know, if a relationship or marriage is broken down, and it does all seem very hectic because you're having to think about where am I going to live, how am I going to live, and all the practicalities. It's a scary time. And the stress of it all, you can lose your appetite. One of my reactions to stress is that my mouth will dry up, saliva dries up, and I don't feel like eating, and it almost feels like I can't eat. But in my survival plan, I made a point of having bananas and pears, oranges, fruit that was juicy, that I at least was eating and getting some vitamins. So even if I didn't feel hungry and didn't feel like I had any appetite, I would make a point of eating the bananas. There's potassium and magnesium, and you know the other fruit has vitamin D and vitamin C. So at least you're nurturing yourself in some way. And the other thing is you don't sleep very well at a time like this. So, but sleep is really, really important, and especially restorative sleep, because during restorative sleep, that's when you process the stress of the day. So it is a bit difficult. So go on my website and find, because I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, amongst other things, you'll find a sleep um, recording that you can listen to every night before you go to bed or when you're in bed. And gradually you will sleep, and it's geared to de-stress, deal with your stress while you're sleeping. And so all of those things are ways of helping you to parent yourself, be your own best friend, put your arms around yourself, hold yourself while you're going through this difficult time, and do please um, join up to the Rebuild Your Life group on Facebook, and there you will find more videos, and you'll find support from lots of other people who have made this journey. So I'm sending lots of virtual hugs to you right now, and if you find this video useful, please click like and subscribe, and you'll get more tips like this. So bye for now.